Okay, so I wanted to give you an idea about the difference between Killarney and South Calgary or Altadore. So when we're talking about this, we're talking about the difference between what's on east and west side of Crowchild. So the heart of Marda Loop here is 33rd Avenue, and Killarney is all of this area here, right? Okay, on the other side of Crowchild. This is your hotbed of all your coffee shops and everything around here. Okay, and Altadore is treated really the same as Marda Loop is. Okay, so well, there's no such thing as Marda Loop. Just so you know, there's no Marda Loop. It's just we call it a business loop. And so one community is called South Calgary, the other community is called Altadore. Okay, so let's just do some. So everything around 33rd, and then this area here. So let's just look at. I just wanted to give you an idea of what's going on. So this when we look at Killarney for land, if I compare similar lot sizes, here's something that was in Killarney that was a lot just land value sold for 730. Okay, let's keep going here. South Calgary, there was a lot here that sold for 788. This is right on 33rd Avenue. Okay, so this sold for 33rd Avenue, right on the avenue. They didn't put any pictures up. This is all being redeveloped into apartments. So it was likely sold as part of a larger group. Now, some people that were the last to sell on that street experience a bit of an issue. No one wants to put a single family home there, and if it sits between two apartment buildings, that might not get a lot of value. Here we go. This one's on 35th Street, 805 in Killarney. Here's another one in Killarney, 830. Here's another one. This is South Calgary. This is 33rd Avenue again. So just so you know, I'll go to the map here and show you what's happening. This is 33rd Avenue here. So when you look around this street, this is a really, really busy street. So they're building, like down here, this is all converted to, they're building apartment buildings and stuff down here. So as far as somebody having a single family home to rebuild, on this one, this is not going to be as desirable as say, Quieter Street in Killarney would be. But anyway, 850 for that, for the land value. Here's one Killarney for 867. Here's another one in Killarney for 870. Now keep going up here. We haven't seen a really nice lot in South Calgary yet. Okay, so here we go. South Calgary, this was 32nd Avenue. Let's look at where that one is. 32nd is in South Calgary here. So this would be this one here for 912. Okay, 912 it sold for, and that gets people to be able to walk over to this street. And that we're talking sold in the last year. Okay. Now, one of the other things that is a factor in all of this is the in here. There's hills and elevations. Some of them are walkout lots. Some of them are different. But we'll keep going up and keep looking at the results here. So that one's 912. Another one, Killarney 915. Killarney 956, as we saw before. Here's Killarney. Now we're getting into South Calgary here. It's a 1.5-story house for $1 million. Now this one might had some land value. I mean house value in it. You know, I would say somebody might buy that to live in. So it might not be fair. Here's a better one for Altadore to compare to. 1952 house, 1,035,000, 1,492 square feet. Somebody might fix it, but really, when you see the house, like beautiful, I mean, so 50 by 122 hill lot, you know, it's probably going to be mostly, somewhat fixed, but people buying properties in the area are buying them to renovate them mostly. And this one has nice furniture, but it doesn't have a lot of renos. Maybe had an addition, but not exactly the kind of house that somebody wants. Here's one in Killarney for $1,060,000. Another one in Altadore here for a 1956, 1,100 square foot home for $1,099,000. And they may not have too much for. So people buying things in here to renovate, and they want the lots. We haven't seen too much for pictures inside because we won't, because nobody cares. So prime 50 by 118 lot in Altador. So it's just upscale infill property, right? They're the one in Altador. Dream lot alert. They're advertising the lot. They don't care about the house. 1,000,001. Remember when I said, like we're talking 100,000 to 200,000 higher for an average lot in Altador or South Calgary. Here's another one, extra redevelopment opportunity, 50 by 122 corner lot, 1,160,000 sold in 3 days with no conditions. This is over on 32nd Avenue. Okay, so the property we were looking at there that I sent you is on 32nd as well. So when you look at where 32nd is, let's see here, it's right here. So 33rd's here. People like this idea only because they could build a double wide side by side, and then they can walk only a block to get to coffee shops and everything else. So that's what 32nd is all about, right? So let's go back to the results here. So this one was a redevelopment property, 1,160,000. And here's another one here. This one is over on 17th Street, 4,300 centers. 0 days on market. Somebody bought it unconditional the first day, just wrote a check. And this one here is 1,170,000. So your budget for this area is getting to be like too slim. There is going to be some properties that might come up for this area. Like, so look what's going on next door. So you understand that somebody bought the lot next door. They probably paid, you know, these now are getting to be half duplex is getting to be like 1,200,000, 1,300,000. And so that's where that's going. And some of them I showed some properties over in West Hillhurst the other night, 2.2 million for something that's not all that big. So this is, so like you can see behind, like look what all of these infills are going in these areas, right? So they're just buying the lot for that. They don't care about the house. Builders and developers are really looking for good opportunities to build property. This is as a sale on a property, so this is not a redevelopment. Here's a 18th Street, 4100 prime redevelopment lot in Altador, 50 by 125, and 1,200 square foot bungalow. So you can see that it's redevelopment. It's not, they're not selling it for the house. It's just a little old house on it. And so, I mean, things are falling off of it. Basically, it's ready to be ripped down. And you can see that, so what's happening too, you have to remember is that for these development like type lots, what's kind of going on is that there's a limited supply of property to buy now to redevelop. And because look around here, how many old houses will there be to redevelop? They're running out of old houses to buy. So all of the houses may even have some renovations to hold on to rental purposes, but they're not even showing pictures inside the house because they don't have to. And they sold it for a little bit over the asking price. So, when you're getting into properties like this, it's a totally different thing. Here's another one in Altador, 1953, 1.2 million. This one had 1,900 square feet. So it's remarkable actually that it was that big. Somebody added on to it. But, it's older renovation and nobody cares about this house. Look at that corner, they're beat up and everything. But that's for the lot. Okay, so you're getting, like, if you could buy something in there. Here's another one. So this is one of our top sales, 1,325 for a 1953 house for the land. And so they advertised the lot. The lot is, what's the lot size here? 15 by, yeah, so 1,000 square foot house, and in multiple offers. So 1,135,000 was the asking price. They sold for 1.325. And that's just going to kind of blow you away, right? Like, it's like nobody cares about the house, right? Here's a house that sold. It was a usable house. Now we're getting up into houses, in Altador 2.4, that kind of range, right? So you're getting an idea of how attractive. So when you got a half duplex or a detached home like this one, they're selling for 2.4 million in the area. Okay, so this is why. Look at this Altador home, 3 million. So, you tell me about what's going to happen with some of these properties that are right on 33rd. If you able to hang on to one and have 4 suites, like, like the property I sent you is only a 2 bedroom up, but it doesn't matter, because like rental's not going to improve if you got a 3 bedroom down in Marda Loop, because they're young professionals, no kids. They're not worried about like whether there's 3 bedrooms or not. That's not what's happening there. It's shared accommodation, two single people renting, a place in Marda Loop. That's what it is. So you don't have to think about whether it's 2 or 3 bedroom. Maybe Huntington, yes, but not this area. This is not the same kind of deal. You just have to have something that has enough revenue out of a 2 bedroom suite to make it pay.